Good day, viewers. I welcome you once again to my YouTube channel, Mazi Business Marketing Agency. I hope you're well and safe, keeping yourselves away from COVID, sanitizing, wearing masks at every opportunity. Please, we need to kick COVID out of Uganda. Thank you for watching us. Thank you for keeping us posted about our videos, for appreciating us. We thank our subscribers. It's because of you that we're here, and we pray that you keep sharing the word so that we have many of you. We thank our sponsors, Serena Hotels. Thank you, Serena. We can't thank you enough. Thank you for having our back and believing in us. It's not easy when you're starting, and but you've shown us that really you stick with us through thick and thin. Thank you, Serena Hotels. Today it's an exciting episode as well. The last episode I had her husband, Moses Karugaba, the king of the mic, or the king of master of ceremony. So he's the most wanted. And now today we have the wife, Becky Karugaba, and she's a baker. She's the proprietor of Becky Bakes. And she's here to tell us about baking. For some of us have wanted to start this business for a while, and we didn't know how to go about it, or maybe we don't know what it takes, or we're not sure if we can go on with it, or we have what it takes. But Becky is here to take us through, and I hope she's going to preach to someone who has always wanted to do the business. Becky, welcome to my channel today.
Thank you so much.
I'm delighted to have you on board. Thank you and your husband for supporting us.
My pleasure.
Introduce yourself.
Hello viewers, so I am Rebecca Kenyana Karugaba, and my company is called Becky Bakes. That is what most of my clients, friends know it as, but it is Becky's Bakery. We do cakes of all functions. We do weddings, these small events, birthdays, baby showers, name it, every kind of cake. And we're located in Jira. You can call us or WhatsApp us anytime. We deliver the best. I'm glad that you're watching. Please feel free. You pick a leaf somewhere. Please listen and learn from what I'm going to share with you, and be blessed. Thank you.
So, Becky, as we start this discussion, tell us about yourself. Who is Becky? Was she a baker right from childhood? Who is Becky?
Okay. What is quite interesting is that I think I was born a baker, but I never had a chance to bring it out. So it started back at campus. You know, when you're at campus, you have the liberty to prepare meals for yourself and all that. So most of my friends knew that if they come to my hostel, to my room, they will definitely find something to eat, something that I've prepared. Either chindazi, cookie. You know, like in my free time, I would just be making those simple things. I wouldn't rest, I would just find myself doing something. So I had it within me. So I did international business at MOBS. So I'm all about business. But after that, I found that I needed to bring out the baking passion to life and do it professionally. So I had got a job. My husband had found me a job in one of the banks. So while I was working, I felt like it wasn't enough for me. I felt something was missing within me.
Misplaced.
So yes, actually, I felt misplaced. So here and there, I would go to YouTube, find out, like, look for videos of how I can bake. I used to follow Cake Boss, you know, that's American guy.
Yeah, my son loves Cake Boss.
Yes, so I used to watch it like in my leisure time. So one day I woke up, I was like, why don't I take it up? Why don't I leave working in the bank? Because it was training me. You know, something that is not meant for you. Somehow you feel...
You're not happy.
Yes. So I got up one day. I did not go to work that morning. My husband asked me, why are you still sleeping? I said, I'm not feeling well. But within me, I knew I wanted to pursue what I really wanted to. So I made calls about where I can go and learn how our local people do it. I could bake, yes. I had tried out my own recipes and they were good. But I needed confidence. I needed to watch someone do it physically, not just on YouTube. So I was referred to some baking school. I went and pursued a course again in pastry, and that is how I started.
Where is that? Where did you pursue the course?
It was in Chira. It's a pastry school located in Chireka.
Oh, there's a pastry school?
Yes, in Chireka.
Okay. How long does it take to...
It takes around 2 to 3 months, depending on your ability to learn. So because I already had the basics, I already knew what I wanted actually. I just wanted to perfect it, or if anything, to just watch people do it so that I also gain the confidence. So I went there, talked to the chef. He told me, come and start next week. Before I went to start, I talked to my friends. I informed them that I'm baking. I knew that I could, and I really was longing.
So you had to get the market before even you learn.
Yes, and actually it wasn't the market.
Wise.
It was like a burning desire within me to see myself work on my very first cake. Okay, I really felt I wanted to see myself take up the challenge.
Yeah.
So I told my friends. Most of the contacts that I had, I sent them messages. So I told them, I'm doing cakes now. Please feel free to call me when you need any cake. It was towards Valentine's, so I got 3 people that needed cake.
Wow.
So when I went to my chef the first time, I told him.
I
was anxious, but just know I couldn't wait. Yes, I know. I was anxious. Do you know, I didn't even know how much to tell them. I actually did not even think about
it. The first time they're like, how much is the cake? You're like,
I did not know how.
You're not sure.
Yes.
I might say 80 and then it tastes 40.
Exactly. I did not know the cost that I would go through to do the cake that they wanted. So I just told them,
how much are you giving me?
No, it's actually me just told them 30,000.
Just a baking flour anyway.
Yes. No, it's not only baking flour. It's really a lot. I had tried out many recipes and they were rich.
I'm saying that 30 would cover only, I think.
It wouldn't even cover half of what I was going to do. So that is how I started. I went to the chef, told him what I'm going to do. He said, okay, buy the things, bring. It is part of your learning. I already knew what it was, but I wanted to witness him doing it as well. So I went through it with him. I produced my first cakes, gave them to my clients. They were happy. And that is how business started. They referred me to other people, others, and so on and on.
That means you were good at the first cake.
Yes. And one thing I think that has made me outstanding is the neatness on my cakes. It is both, all my cakes are both neat finishing. And yes, the finishing and the taste itself.
When you talk about cake, you're like, there's a part, like my heart keeps melting.
I know.
I love cake so much.
I know. Actually, most of
sweet tooth.
Actually, most of my clients are, these picky people that really, yes.
I would be among them. This one, cake. So now you left your job.
I left it.
More of a bank job.
Yes.
That was a huge decision.
Yes, that was the last day I stepped there.
That was daring.
Yes.
And you didn't go back.
I did not.
For the 30th cake.
For that. Trust me, I did not go back.
I know. These things it's just a risk.
Yes.
You have to risk. Otherwise, you'll never move.
You have to risk. Yes. And one thing
How did Moses take it?
At first he thought I was crazy.
I know, I would also think the same.
Yes, it's like, how can I get you a job and you just dump it there? And you go in your baking.
Like, this chick is not serious.
He did not see any sense in me.
Yeah.
But with time, he saw that I had time for him. I had time for the kids. had time to oversee everything in the
Yeah,
home.
yeah, especially the home.
Yes, the home.
And then you begin to appreciate. And also you have your car business going. I mean, it
Yes.
may be slow, but it's actually moving.
Yes,
Every
yes.
day is an addition.
Obviously, it will be slow at the beginning, but you need to have patience to grow it.
Yeah.
Yes, not patience to grow someone else's business.
No, that's true.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So that is how I went on, and up to now, I must.
You haven't looked back.
I have never looked back, and I appreciate myself for that decision I made that very day.
You said you do wedding cakes.
Yes, I do.
Tell me about a wedding cake.
About
The experience when you're baking, because a wedding cake is not the same as a cake which is going to have like 10 people.
Exactly. Yes.
These are hundreds of people.
Yes. Now, with a wedding cake, first of all, you have to have in mind that there are losses you're going to incur. You want it to be perfect. It's going to be tested by thousands of people, viewed by thousands of people, your clients and yet to be clients.
Exactly.
Everyone.
Because they are you're targeting yet to be clients.
Yes. And you're protecting your name.
Yeah.
So what you have to know about wedding cakes is that you have to be prepared for any loss. You make any simple mistake, you have to redo it. Do not look at the loss, just make sure you produce something perfect.
And
so,
what are these mistakes that usually come about?
The mistakes that come about is usually color. There are some cakes that have these not normal colors. So mixing those colors to get the perfect color that you want is really hard. It is actually a very big achievement if you achieve the color that you want, especially these neutral colors where you have to mix this and this. And then also, let's say you're baking and power goes off, or there is a problem anywhere and maybe you have a generator and it is faulty or issues with power, you'll know that everything is a mess.
Are you sure?
Yes.
However big the extent of the baking has gone, like if you're like 45 minutes into baking.
Everything is gone. Unless it's like 10 minutes, 15 minutes, they can survive. But if they don't, just know that is a loss.
That's a big loss.
Yes. And then also, some people want cakes that will last for really long.
Yeah, I know someone who kept her cake up to
her first anniversary. Yes, most of my clients want that.
What do you do about such cakes?
So what you do is that you prepare in advance. You have to have most of your ingredients prepared to last longer. And
how do you do that?
You have to. There is a different recipe, not the normal recipe that we use. So that different recipe takes a lot more time and resources and the things that you need to use to work on that, to achieve that, are not the normal ones. So you just have to be prepared, get your ingredients that will last long, get your rum, brandy, preserve your ingredients, and then you'll be sure that it will last.
It will last long. Cake is not easy. It doesn't sound easy. I've tried baking, even the simplest cake backfired during COVID. Never to grow big, never to get out of the pan. And I said, you know what, let me leave this for the pros. Well, I'll stick to mandazi and chapati bakery. No, it's not easy. And yet when you're mixing, you are sure you are doing it the right way. But when it gets in the oven, I don't know what happens.
Yes, baking is a science. It's a science. You have to follow step by step. Know when to put this, when not to put this, know how much to put. Know, it's just a science. It's actually like chemistry.
Indeed, it's like chemistry because the mixtures, if you put in more of the soda and then less of, I think there's something that
you put more of this, the cake is sour. You put less of this, the cake doesn't raise. You put less of this, the cake falls inside.
My cake refused to raise. I've baked like 4 cakes and they're not raising, and I gave up. I said, you know what, let me leave this. Even scones, put up scones, they drowned. And then I'm baking, my kids are so anxious. They will never leave the kitchen. When it's ready, they're like, what happened to the cake? I'm like, you just eat. If it tastes like cake, then that is it.
My firstborn, she's called Chirabo. She's like my cake. I use her like as my my cake tester. So she'll come first. She likes chocolate cakes only. But all the other cakes, let's say maybe there is anything I think maybe it's not right, she's the first person I'll call. I'll be like, Shirabo, come taste for me this cake. So she'll come, she's like, I think something is lacking. Mommy, do this. But when it's chocolate, all chocolate cakes are perfect. Okay. But trust me, when she says something is lacking, I don't go beyond.
You know that you just...
Yes.
Oh my God, baking is not easy.
It's
not anything that goes here in the mouth, you have to be very careful.
Yeah.
So, now Moses had already accepted that, you know what, my chick is baking. She left the bank, let us bake. How do you coordinate with his emceeing and your baking? Do you get clients for each other? Does he scout clients for you as well? Because it's all a social business. You have to be somewhere delivering cakes, or sometimes you're at the functions. Then he's also emceeing. You're generally in events.
Yes.
How do you manage it?
It's actually a perfect blend.
Yeah, I would imagine.
Yeah. Now, when I had just started, there is no way you can. These things of recently I've been seeing this these memes passing through. There is this cake that fell. Have you seen the aeroplane? The plane
I think it had just crashed.
Yes, so they were saying it crashed. And then someone had written that this is when someone says, my wife can bake. That is what happened. So there is a way.
When I saw that picture, I said, did the problem come from the transportation? Did it start with where they baked it from?
You really cannot tell.
And if it was where they baked it from, why didn't they redo the cake? And if it's by the plane,
you really can't tell. But I think it was a combination of many things. Probably they did not assemble it well, or the transportation.
I think the transporter messed it up. But I'm sure, I just said, they shouldn't have taken pics. But Ugandans don't have
Maybe they thought that we won't. There are some people that will think people will not be so observant.
No, they don't know Ugandans. Ugandans are the most observant people ever. That cake was all over. But I like the way the company has turned the whole thing into. So I hope you're going to go for the contest.
No, unfortunately, that deadline was yesterday.
Yeah.
Yesterday, the other day. I've been, this weekend has been so busy. I've been having introduction functions, 2 of them. And it was really hectic for me. I could not get time to go to beat the deadline. I could not.
But it's interesting the way they've turned the marketing. It's so cute that now what was meant to bring them down has now turned out something different. Yes. But for the baker, I'm sure she's somewhere like one hand.
She's there
undercover. I'm sure she's baked many other nice cakes, but one.
Trust me, it happens. You even the bestest baker, such blunder happens.
I attended a wedding where the lady baked her cake, and it was a perfect gesture. She's a baker, and she's baked many nice cakes. I will not say her name, she's big in town. But her wedding, she slid and fell on the cake table, and the cake became mushy. I don't know what type of cake that is. But as soon as it fell, it became mushy. So they were putting it together.
My.
And I remember her sobbing, and she cried at her wedding. And I was like, oh my God, the devil is such a liar. So man has baked many nice cakes. Why her own cake at her own wedding? And I'm sure she had put in a lot of effort, a lot of time. And this is her thing. It's time to please herself. And but the shoe, she was passing the cake table. I don't know, the shoe and the gown, something I don't know happened. We saw her falling on the cake table, and that was it.
Oh my God, cake is very delicate.
And it was already evening. They didn't cut cake.
Oh,
it was so bad. Yeah, it was bad. So now cakes for a person who wants to start bakery, like from scratch. What do you advise about? Because I know you do your bakery from home.
Yes.
Why is it that you do it from home?
I decided to do it.
Why didn't you get a place like elsewhere?
I decided to do it from home. Why? I saw that I had all that it takes. Okay, everything I needed was within me.
And you had the space.
Not, yes, it was within me. Not you may have the most accessible location, but your cakes are bad and no one ever comes there.
That's true.
But I knew that it lies in my hands, so I had to use my hands and my head. I began from home. Through my friends, I got many referrals. So I have
what are the I would say equipments that you need? The vital ones that you need to start.
The vital ones,
especially commercial bakery.
The very first one is an oven.
Should it be a certain type, or it has to be commercial?
No, any type can work. If it has to be commercial, obviously it has to be big. But you can also begin with the small ones, probably a single deck, and then remove one batch, put another, and so on and so forth. And also a mixer. A mixer and an oven are the crucial items for the start. But I know bakers that even use their hands
to mix.
Yes, to mix. Yeah.
African bakers.
Yes.
Love
yeah, you can actually begin from that. You can use your hand, especially when you're just beginning. You're not sure of your the market. You can begin with your hands. It's not hard. And then first cake, second cake, you can buy a mixer and then start off. And trust me, as you start, if you trust your product, it will earn you a lot more to expand and be better.
So you said it's always better to, of course, like you already had, it's not enough that you baked while you were, like you grew up baking. It's not enough. You have to go and really perfect your baking.
Yes, but there are some people.
I mean, you need to tell people out there that you don't just wake up and bake.
Yes, it's not a gamble.
Because you feel like, oh, I baked so.
You do not need to gamble. You need to know how is it out there. You need to try out. You need to try with the people that have been in business before.
Yeah, I think that's important.
Yes, it's important. You can be there are some self-taught bakers, I think, but there is something that will lack somewhere. So you need to first share experience
I'm on a baking
with
page where I see people really seeking opinions of their cakes, and that's very important. That you need to people to tell you the truth about your cake.
And there is a way you will never know everything unless you interact on one-on-one or do it practically. These things on Facebook, WhatsApp, those groups are many, like you said, and I see many people post. They're like, please, how do I go about this and this? There are many. There is a lot of information that people will not bring out. They'll just give you the basics, but you need to learn physically how someone else is doing it. That is the only way you're sure that you'll get something that is legit.
Okay, so we have the oven, we have the mixers. Definitely, okay, we start with the studies, because you need the training. Then we have those. How do you advise people to seek clients? Like starting from family, from the friends,
You start from family and friends, but most importantly, you need to work on your product.
It's important the product comes.
It's important because even if it is family, you'll give, let's say you bake for your sister, but she's not going to eat the cake alone. She has other friends that have come over.
That's true.
Other people around.
Even me, most of the cakes I have are referrals.
Exactly.
Sometimes I just call, I'm like, this time I want to test a different cake. And someone will say, no, I know someone who knows someone. That's it.
So however good, or however much you start with your family, your cake has to be good. Your product has to be good. So it can sell you to the outside market. Once you give only one person a nice cake, others will come along. Yes.
So you advise the people, our viewers who need or who feel like they want to start bakery to make sure their products are perfect?
Yes, they need to
before
first
anything?
focus on their product. Keep trying, keep making many trials. It can be a loss. Don't mind about it. Buy ingredients, try out this until you say that this
Now
is
I
a
got
very
it.
good, yes. And then you're good to go. Once there is a nice cake, no one can fail to come and buy. Yeah. The market is so big.
What makes your cake different? How do you tell that your cake is unique?
It is unique in the taste.
Someone
and
would
in
see and say, Becky baked this cake.
that
Like
is
me,
true.
I can eat Sarah's cake and know at a function, and I know this is Sarah's cake.
Come and taste my cake. And the next time you find it somewhere, you will
Becky
know.
promised me cake. That one is going to cause us problems.
Come to the bakery. Come to the bakery.
It is going to damage our relationship if that cake is not delivered.
Please come to the bakery. There is cake, a lot of cake. Masmoise, all and all my recipes, all my flavors are rich. Be it fruit, be it vanilla,
Oh,
be
I love a
it
fruit cake.
be it orange, all the flavors are rich in
Fruit cake
flavor.
is
Yes.
fantastic.
Yeah.
So
fruit cake
you
is really
you are sure someone will tell that Becky?
Someone will tell. They will first tell from the finishing, and when they eat, they'll even be more sure that this is
Becky's
wow,
cake.
this is Becky's cake.
Hey.
It is just finger licking.
And you think your
To
baker
the last
is
bite.
in another country? It's here. I'll come for that cake.
But like on a serious note,
You think I'm joking?
on a serious note, it's really that
I
unique.
don't joke with cake. No, I'll have to first come and see what is Becky talking about.
Come and witness.
Now, I think now I know where you're coming from. You have the passion. It's inside you.
Yes.
It's like me. Even if I had honesty that cake is the most booming thing in town, I'll not bother because it's not within me.
Yes, it's not. It's just it's born within
By
you.
you, the way you're talking about it, I would not. Me, I would talk about it eating, but the way you talk about it to bring it to the table, oh, that's interesting.
I know we are different.
Yeah.
Different preferences. Yeah.
So now you're bakers. How do you tell about the costs? How can they maximize profits out of the bakery? Or cost cut? Maximizing profits also dangerous because you don't want to compromise
The quality. Yeah. But how you can cost cut is you can do it from home. Like I am doing.
Very important because there you're not paying what?
Rent, yes. So doing it from home is the first step to cut costs. As long as you organize it in a way that it is conducive enough for you. Even if it's a small home, find a
very, very conducive. I think it will run across the screen.
Yes, it is. It
really has a very beautiful setting, which can be done by the way.
It can be done. Just prepare you. What does it really take to organize your home to make something to produce your cakes from there? It is a lower cost than paying rent somewhere.
What do you do for deliveries?
I have myself. Sometimes I can get a driver, or myself I take in the car, and I have a number of border guys that I use as well. But when cake is delicate, I obviously have to take it myself.
Like those wedding cakes.
Yes, wedding cakes, some buttercream cakes. Yeah.
Oh, I think the other wedding cake was buttercream, something like that, because it really got mashed. So.
And we're still talking about cutting costs.
Yeah, cutting costs.
So apart from cutting out rent, you can also try to do workers. You do not need many workers. Only 2 people I think are enough, as long as you train them well, and then yourself you're involved. Because if you're not involved in the business, the workers may they will not know the cost that you go through.
They don't. Usually
they do a lot of wastage. So what you need to do is to supervise, make sure they're using the things the way they're supposed to use them. There is no wastage. There are no more costs that you will incur apart from buying ingredients.
And then what about outlets? I see many people, I don't even know where the bakeries are there, but they have outlets.
I'm actually also planning to put an outlet within Chira town. Why? Because there's some people that would want to, like people that are just passing by.
Slices.
Not only slices, but even the whole cake.
The whole cake.
Whole cake, even slices. For people who are just passing by, those random clients that cannot first have to drive to your home. So an outlet is really good for the random clients, just people passing by.
And apart from bakery, I'm sure there are other things you do. What else do you do apart from bakery? I'm sorry, apart from cakes.
Apart from cakes, all other pastries.
Yeah.
Cookies, cupcakes.
What kind of cookies? There's a lady I know who does the tea cookies. There's some cookies that's butter.
There are butter cookies, and there are these other cookies that we make with oats. Oats.
Okay.
So I do all that.
So someone can, if they have a function, they just call you and order.
Yes, exactly.
What other pastries?
Daddies, samosas, chapatis, but on order. So that is why, like I said, I'm putting an outlet.
When there's an outlet, it's right.
Yes.
Becky, recently I passed by, they put down the Pioneer Mall, and there was a pastry shop there. That shop forever has a queue from morning to evening.
Which shop is that?
At the mall. It was at the mall, like facing City Square. What's that? What restaurant was that which was at the mall for many years? Antonio's.
Antonio's.
Over St. Antonio.
I know Nando's.
No.
Oh, Pioneer. Yes, it was Antonio's.
So they had a pastry shop. Now I think they put down the mall. They moved the shop a bit up. You see it. It's in an Aka Island going down to Arua Park. That place has. The other day I saw a queue. It was like 6 o'clock, but the queue was up to like. And I said, "What is in this? What is this?" And the guy told me, said, "Banu, Auntie Basenguka." And I'm like, yeah, I remember seeing them and say, "Bana Bantu." For them, they are baking 24 hours. The demand is too high. And I said, "You mean this is just like this?"
Yeah. First of all, you see that place that did you ever see the line that was always at Antonio's?
Yes, I
the
know.
Restaurant.
I remember.
It's all about location. First of all,
I loved their mandas. I told you, my cakes mandas is my weakness.
So it's first of all, it's about location. How easily accessible is the place? Oh my God,
it's so perfect because everyone is going in the taxis.
Yes,
there. People are going home. People are going to the park. The queue was in this COVID, but there was a queue, and I was like, I can't imagine how much these people take home just out of samosas and mandas.
Yeah. So when you have a good location, it's a very good thing for you.
I'm trying to encourage actually you on the outlet, that the outlet can bring you, if you have a good location, it can really bring you money.
Yeah, it really
and
takes
not,
you further.
Not heavily priced, like where he told me this samosa pair 20k. Samosa pair 1.5, I remember. There, chapati 1k. So the queues, the guy, they said they're always bringing in food 24 hours. Like carrying from morning 6 o'clock, people going for work, breakfast, everything they pick from there.
And like I said, now me working from home, I make for the people that have ordered with me. Probably it is a specific type of it's like a niche. Same people, but when you're located in town, like in the middle of town, people of all categories are there. You will know that there are those Omuntu Awansi, the middle one, and
even no Awansi can eat a good chapati.
Exactly. So you have to produce for different kinds, different categories, as compared to keeping at home for only a specific type. Exactly.
That one is important. So you tell us about what are the benefits that you've had from baking.
The benefits, first of all, the biggest is that it has given me a chance to portray my creativity.
To bring you out.
exactly, to bring me out. You know, every time I'm working on cake, a lot is going through my mind. I'm like, let me do something like this. Let me put this. It is one reason I prefer a client who just believes in me and says, just do something nice. Within, as long as you give me the range, do something nice. So I can use my creativity. I'm not limited by the picture that you have sent me. So it is one thing that I actually like about it. And another thing is, it keeps me active. You're moving up and down, preparing this, doing this and this. You know, it is not something that
because it's an idle mind is the devil's workshop.
Exactly. It keeps you active instead of going to the gym every day. You know that you're walking here.
You're in shape. The only problem, I would be active eating the cake. I'm sure I would be looking.
And you know, yes, and you know we have high chances of growing fat.
Yeah, of course.
Because you're testing this and this and this. But the fact that
know.
you're walking up and down, standing, bending, here and there, you just keep exercising the body.
The body.
So it works well that way.
And then financially.
And financially, it is.
Is it lucrative? Is it worth a try?
It is very, very much worth a try. When you do your pricing very well, like what I did, cakes of 30,000, I had to get from my own pocket.
I was the victim of that cake.
But you know, I felt happy. I did not even look at the money. I felt happy working on them.
I think it was more, you were so excited about your first cake.
Yes, I was so
you didn't
excited.
Care. You could have even given it out for free.
It was actually free, but I felt like it was a chance for someone to see what I can do. You get. So, what did you ask?
No, I'm saying financially, the financial benefit.
Yes. So when you have done it very well, and you have priced it well as well, the money is really worth it. It is very, very worth it. You actually cannot think of any other business apart from that.
So where do you see yourself in the next 5 years?
I see myself as I know for sure that I'm going to be among the top bakers in town.
Yeah.
Yes.
We are ready.
You know, I'm going to be at this level where a client brags about buying cake from me.
Yeah.
Like you buy cake and you go bragging about it. You're like, yes, I got it from Becky Bakes.
Yeah.
That is where I see myself.
That's a firm vision to keep you really working harder and harder.
Yeah, exactly.
So now, before I even ask my last question, what do you see about the competition? What do you think about, because there are lots of bakeries, everyone is baking. I've been to one of the cake. Do you know I even go to cake fair to taste cake?
Oh wow!
I went to cake fair sometime and I saw lots of, but every cake you taste, you see they're different. Like, how do you view competition?
The competition. There is a certain man I passed by. He had a shop, grocery shop. So I asked him. There were very many shops close to each other. I said, how would you handle? Clients are coming here, others, as in the shops are close to each other. He said, business gulingo mwalo. As in, buli omu atekayo, as in, everyone puts their net. And yes, and everyone has to get fish.
Yeah, that's true.
So
you just cast the net. Whether you're 50, if it's two fishes, over 2 fish.
Yes. So everyone, business actually is competition is actually healthy, because it keeps you on your toes to produce the best, to keep satisfying your clients, so they don't go elsewhere. To produce,
even get the others.
Yes, even get the others, and even to maintain them. You have to maintain them because your product is really good and worth it. So as long as your product is good, they will come. They will always come. There is no reason that they will go to another person when you are there and they know about you. Or even if they come to you, you can never satisfy all the clients around. Just do your best. Your clients will keep coming. You will maintain them, and even more will come. And you even get overwhelmed. And there are some cake orders that I give out. to my
Sure.
fellow bakers. Yes.
That's
So competition is not, you cannot fear competition.
that is something very positive, because for those would-be bakers, I don't think it's an excuse that, oh, there are too many people doing the business.
No,
so
no.
it shouldn't be an excuse.
It should never be. Should never be. As long as you do something good. Don't go in it just because you want to make money.
Yeah.
Go in it because you want to satisfy your clients, and they'll pay you when it is worth it.
Still, before I come to the last question, there's something I wanted to put my fingers on. Baking vis-a-vis investments. Because when you're baking and you're making money, you're doing well, do you get the money and reinvest it, or you go and buy yourself a nice dress, a nice shoe, take your family out? Because at the end of the day, we want to get better. We want to get better. So we are ready. God has given us the opportunity. I'm baking, I'm doing well. How do I get better out of baking? How do I save? How do I reinvest? Do I expand my business? What do we do to tell people out there? Do I take my family to Serena for dinner because we made money out of the bakery?
Of course, having fun with family once in a while is okay. But you also have to think about investing.
Yeah.
Think about your health.
Yeah.
Think about all these other things to develop you. Now, what I usually do, I know that on every cake, for example, there is money that will go towards my health. There is some that will go towards my investment plan. If I plan to maybe buy a plot somewhere or anything.
Yeah.
There is some that will go back to business.
Yeah.
Towards buying probably a bigger thing. So on every cake there is a percentage that I get.
That is beautiful.
Yes, and
so you keep your records.
I keep my records. So that way you're able to grow your business, develop it, and invest, and at the same time leave a little for your family to enjoy.
I'm also in the habit of keeping records. Actually, some people see me and they're like, we can't believe I write. I have my expenditures. I have in a book. And it's so shocking because even me, I'd like to keep track because, these opportunities, these things don't come all the time.
Yes.
So, when God gives you something and you misuse it, He'll give it to another person. That is what I always believe. So, and recording really, really has helped me because I go back to my book, I'm like, oh, so this is what I did. So this is what I put in, this is what I have taken out, and this is what I have invested. And that's how I've managed to do what I do.
Yeah.
Because at the end of the day, you want to get better. The year, you cannot start January and get to December.
And you're
not
still the
improved
same.
your life.
Yeah, exactly.
We are growing old. We don't know how long we have. And we have kids. So we still have a lot to do. And life is becoming expensive.
Yeah.
And the cost of living is going so high. So you have to make sure that you keep track of your profits, you keep track of your expenditures, so that it will help you get better. There's a time where I will be spending like no man's business. But I think when you're growing and you want to grow faster and and better, you need to do that. So the last question I wanted really is, what are the challenges you face in baking? And during this COVID time, how have you managed to break through?
Challenges. I had told you about power issues.
Yes.
Those are some of the challenges.
And Chira and Chariwajara is crazy with power.
No, surprisingly, these days it has been stable. A bit stable.
That's good.
But either you need to have a backup plan. And another challenge
so
comes
you have a backup
with
generator?
Yes, please. And another challenge comes with staff, training them to be your face. They have to know everything that a client will want to know, so they can explain to them when you are away. exactly.
Because the ones that remain in your shoes.
Yes. And you have to also train them to do everything, like to produce the best, even while you are away. So that is the one challenge. But how I've managed it is I've managed to be there. I think it is my weakness. I make sure I'm there. Much as you are doing it, I make sure I am watching.
So is it a disadvantage to bake and also have another job? Like
Yeah, it is a disadvantage.
to have a white collar job as you bake.
Yes, because you will not have time for the baking. You will not have time to think, to grow your vision, because your minds are also on the job, and you're baking. It
cannot add up.
It cannot. Yeah, you have to put all your minds on one. At least when it has picked up, and it can sustain itself without you, that is when you can think of the other things.
How has business been during COVID?
During COVID, of course, it has been low and good at the same time. Low when it comes to wedding cakes, because the weddings have been restricted. There were just quite a few orders coming in for the scientific functions. But the other small cakes, birthdays, just people have actually been ordering some just. They called, they're like, Becky,
at home.
I'm craving your cake, please make for me one just for just.
They are home, the kids
Just
are
because
home.
they are home, it's a family. Yes,
The
yes.
families are together.
The families are together, so they are celebrating every opportunity. So it has been good with the small cakes, but the weddings have been quite low. But it has balanced a bit.
I would imagine, because though they are scientific, maybe the sizes would have reduced, but still at least birthdays, people still celebrate their birthdays.
Yes.
Ugandans have a nature of celebrating. So, and
Ugandans really celebrate.
me, I don't take celebration for granted. Thanksgiving, I'm always thanking God for every little thing, and I don't care what it costs, I'll do it. I just love to appreciate life, and because I've seen people not making it so young, and I just don't take it for granted. I don't want to say life is short. It's not. Life is what you make it. There's no short life. Abraham lived up to 100. How many years? 100 years. And we can also live the same way.
Yeah.
So I'm not celebrating to die, but I'm celebrating to thank God that really we thank God that we're still alive. So anytime for cake, I eat cake.
Cake you eat anytime.
Anytime. So what are your last remarks for our viewers?
For our viewers, if there is anyone out there you would want to try baking as a profession,
Would you train them if they wanted?
Would I train? Yes, I do training. I have students.
You didn't mention that.
I train.
Send my son.
Please send him.
loves
I even
to
have
bake.
vacists. Like actually, most of my students have been these school-going children during this COVID, because they were locked up at home.
Yeah.
So
my son loves to cook.
no, I do
loves-
training for cakes. It's a 5 weeks training.
Is it every day? Every day?
No. It is 3 times a week.
Okay.
Yeah, Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. Even currently, there is an ongoing course
Oh,
as I speak.
you should mention. So you train?
Yes, I
Is
train.
it at a fee?
Yes, at a fee, of course.
How much is that?
It is 800,000.
800.
Yes.
800,000.
Emitwalo kinaaga.
China. Bekola makola sente tarazana.
But it is worth it. Let me tell you, when it is actually, most of my students, they come back saying, wow, it should have been more expensive than you charged us. Because you'll start making cakes, within only 5 orders, you realize that you have recovered what you paid me. You get?
That one is a nice one. 800.
Yeah, it's really
and for
good.
3 weeks?
Yes, for 3 weeks.
Especially
No, for 5 weeks.
5 weeks.
Yes.
Those who have kids at home and they're not doing anything, especially those who live that side of Chaliwajara,
Ntinda, Najera, Namugongo.
Yeah.
Yes.
They can bring your kids for training.
Yes.
It's important to teach our kids these side hustles. let me tell you, we wouldn't be here if our parents didn't teach us hustles.
We wouldn't, yeah.
Because for us, they taught us things. They didn't keep us in the house waiting to go to school. No. We can't do the same for our children, to keep them on TV, and yet we can do side programs, for them, so that in case in future they can always find their calling along the way.
Yeah.
If they
And
fail,
it's a skill.
Yeah, it's a skill.
A skill is a lifetime thing.
It's lifetime. That's really. So, your last remark still?
So my last remarks, I was telling you, whoever is out there and feel maybe they need to try out baking, you need a firm foundation. First of all, you can come to me, I can train you. And all your worries, I know most people think about quitting their jobs. They think about how can they start. They see as if it is something that is
some are not
either
even
hard.
working.
Some are not even working, and yet baking is something that you can
home.
start with even just 200,000. You can start
As long as you have the skill.
As long as you have the skill and the passion within you.
Yeah.
Yes, you can start. I've seen people baking on sigiri.
Yeah.
I usually see them and
I've seen
they're
solar
working.
ovens.
And they're working. So it does not require much. You just have to be firm and start. Take the first step.
Yeah, I'll test. I have no problem. When you want to know if your cake is okay, please call a manzi. We shall test.
Please do.
So, where do they find you?
I'm located in Chira in Tukutwe. I work from home, like I said, but I'm putting a branch, an outlet within Chira town. Yeah.
And the contacts are running across the screen.
Okay.
For all types of cakes. I'm sure they've already seen even the videos about how you do your things. In case they're worried about hygiene, in case they're worried about anything, I'm sure the home video is going to give them comfort knowing that you're tasting a nice cake.
Yes.
And it's worth it.
Yes.
So, and where to find you, it's also on the screen. Becky, now I want cake.
Let's go.
I want cake. I want the fruit one, the one with
the fruit
berries.
I know that rich fruit
that
with
rich
cherries
one.
and raisins and all.
Oh my God, and the raisins. Oh my God, that's the cake I want. No.
Yeah, I know quite a number of people that are so stuck to that traditional rich fruit cake.
Me, that is still what works for me. I've tried all these mania sponge, what, my vanilla mixed with berries, and that fruit cake still is perfect for me.
Yeah, most people
and
like
I would eat it any day, anytime, anywhere, with soda, with water, with tea.
With soda. What's your
Oh, Becky, thank you so much for it. Thank you so much for coming.
Thank you.
We are so glad to have hosted you, and I know that, of course, now you've changed our life. By the way, me, I get surprised when the videos go out and someone is asking, oh, so how do you get this person? And I'm like, hey, you know, because it just takes one. If you change one person, you've changed a family, you've changed even a village. Because there's some people, income, they're doing nothing at home. I
see them, and honestly speaking, I feel bad. I feel like they are seated on I think they're seated on gold. As in, when you have something, if you have a dream and you're just seated,
it's not fair.
It's really not good. I feel bad when I see people just seated.
I really want to get people from their comfort zones. That is where I'm not stopping until we move. We need to get people out of those comfort zones.
Yes.
Or those self-pity things. Oh, I could have done it. No, me, I'm not like her. For her, she has. It is possible. It is doable. It can be done.
It is very much doable.
Yeah.
And there are even people, among those that I train, there are some that do not have the equipment. So they learn the baking, and when they get an order, they don't have where to bake it from. But they always come back and use my premises, use my
and just pay a little fee, power.
Yes, yes. They pay, of course, they pay a fee, but it is better than
not doing.
Yeah.
Becky, that is so sweet of you. Thank you for uplifting others. You need to continue. Thank you. Now I am ready to taste the cake.
Thank you so much for hosting me. Thank you, viewers, whoever is watching.
Thank you, viewers.
Be blessed.
That was Becky Karugaba of Becky Bakes. You've heard from her, from the horse's mouth, what it takes, what you need. Some of you have been there seated with your talent or with your passion, and you're not sure, should I go on? Isn't it expensive? Can I do it? What about the market? What about the competition? Becky has answered all questions, that it is doable and it can be done. She left the bank. I mean, who would do that? But Becky did it. She left the bank to bake her first cake. And she's also into pastries. I mean, these are things, like I always believe, anyone who is doing any business to do with food, something that goes to the stomach, there's never a loss. You can't fail to get someone to eat that food. But to make it commercial and outstanding, it takes a lot of effort. It takes a lot of practice, trainings. You need to you find yourself, and you discover yourself and find yourself that you can do it. So I pray that you are able to pick something from Becky, and we believe. I mean, she got there. You can also do the same. Before I close, I want to thank our sponsors. Serena Hotels, thank you for backing us up. Thank you for keeping with us. It's not easy when you're starting, like I said, but Serena has believed in us, has believed in our vision, and they have stuck with us. They are open.